Tofu is a rare vegetable protein and comes from a plant. The plant that it comes from is soybeans, and it is then processed into a protein. Sometimes tofu can be grouped with meats and eggs. However, there is no cholesterol, which makes it a very healthy protein choice. Tofu's main component is soy and is called a complete source of dietary protein. It contains many nutrients and healthy amino acids your body depends on. Originally from China, tofu is like many other soy foods and were discovered nearly 2,000 years ago. Its best season to grow is spring, roughly 2 to 3 weeks past the last frost date. Soil should be around at least 60 degrees Fahrenheit, with the daytime temperatures around 70 degrees Fahrenheit. Tofu is like many other fruits and vegetables at your local grocery stores. It can be bought as silken tofu, which is a more jello-like type of tofu, and comes in three different styles, which are soft, firm, and extra firm. The next kind of tofu is a regular tofu, which is the kind that are usually made and appear in stir fries or salads and stuff like that. The last kind is marinated tofu, which tends to be a bit more expensive, but the texture is said to be much better and actually tastier. Generally speaking, price wise, tofu is cheaper than many meats and is $2 to $2.50 per pound. Tofu is made from the curds of soy milk and is a soybean product. Tofu is to soy milk what cheese is to regular milk. It is a great source of a plant based protein and is considered to be a lean protein. Only half a cup of it can deliver 10 grams of protein, and it can help with cell growth and calcium. It also contains potassium, iron, zinc, selenium, and it has also been known to lower the risk of heart disease. Tofu actually contains all 9 of the essential amino acids. There has been research documented where a high intake of legumes, including soy, has been positively linked to lower the rate of heart disease. It is also known that soy isoflavones reduce inflammation of the blood vessels and can improve their elasticity. Tofu is also known to contain compounds called saponins, which have been shown to have protective effects on the health of the heart. The three recipes I have chosen are first miso soup with tofu, second marinated tofu bites, and third crispy buffalo bites. For the first recipe, you should get water, boil it in a medium-sized saucepan over medium-high heat. At this time, you would add scallions, ginger, and garlic if you like. After, you would reduce the heat and let it simmer for about 10 minutes. Then you would add in the miso and stir it to dissolve. After that, you add the soy sauce, kale, and of course, tofu. And then you let it simmer again. You would continue to let it cook until the tofu is tender or for about 5 minutes. Then you serve it. For the second recipe, which is tofu bites, the first step of this recipe is to drain the water you get from the tofu using a tofu press or without. Next, you would slice it directly in half on a cutting board. You can continue to cut it in half until you get the size of tofu that you would like. You place them on top of each other with paper towels in between for the first part. Then after that, you pan fry the tofu. Then you add whatever you like. At this stage, you can make it into whatever, but for this recipe, it is best to soak it in soy sauce, lemon juice, and maple syrup. For the last recipe, the crispy buffalo tofu bites, the first step is to freeze your tofu because it can remove extra moisture and give it a chewier texture, which is also better for marinating. After that, you boil it with vegetable broth for some extra flavor, and this process usually happens for close to 15 minutes. After that, you would pan fry it and then add a splash of olive oil or avocado oil, whatever you prefer. You would do this for another about 10 to 15 minutes, plate it, add the buffalo sauce, and dig in. Some fun facts about tofu. Tofu turns yellow when it freezes. Second, Benjamin Franklin is actually the one who introduced tofu to America. And third, tofu is known to help you lose weight.